Alright guys, I'm Alex and I'm on Pink Bike and today I'm going to show you how to make an HDR photo out of one photo. Usually I have to stack 3 photos of different exposures, but I'm going to show you a much easier way to do it. So open your original photo. Mine is Jacques. Okay. Open your original photo. Okay. So now you're going to save this photo. I've already saved it, but you're going to save it in as Jacques 0 or whatever you want to call it. You save it as Jacques 0 in a Jacques HDR photo. You save it as a JPEG. You save. And you, for me it's max. I like max. You go to OK. Then you go to image, adjustments, exposure. Okay, so when you're in exposure, this is exposure. Do not touch these things, do not touch nothing, just touch this thing right here. Press 2, basically. Go to OK. Does it, and then you go to save as. You save it as Jacques 2, okay? I already have it, so I won't save it. So you go like this, and then you go to edit, step backward, okay? Then you go to image again, adjustments, exposure, and this time, don't touch anything, this time press -2. You press OK, you go to file, save as, and you do, this time you do -2, right? So you press cancel this time, and then you close this, okay? So now what you're going to do, you're going to go to automate in file, automate, merge to HDR. It shows you this window. Remember how I said there's a stack? Well, we made 3 different exposures of one photo, and then we have to go to browse, pick those 3 photos, all of them at once, and open them all, and then press OK. So now it's going to stack those 3 photos for you and make an HDR photo. But we have to tone map the HDR photo after this to make it look better. It's making it right now. Alright guys, so nothing here, do not press OK yet, or do not press cancel, okay? You go to, you see the first image, you see your names, image names, 0 and -2. Do not touch anything here, press this, and then just copy what you see right there. So for this it's -2, for this it's 0, and for this one it's 2. And then press OK. Okay, so this is what they call your HDR photo. Doesn't look like much. You can play around with the lighting if you want. I prefer that. And then make sure it's bit depth, it's 32 bits per channel, okay? And then you press OK. And then it creates the HDR file. Okay, so now what you're gonna do, this is your HDR file, doesn't look like much, eh? It looks better than the original though, but we're not done yet. You go to file, you save this as a, you go here to the format, you save it as a TIFF, and you press save. You save it in the same folder, TIFF. Make sure it's 32-bit float. Then you press OK. Then you exit Photoshop. I don't know why it does that. You exit Photoshop, you go to Photomatix Pro. I'll add the link in the description. Okay, you go to File, you go to Open, then you go to your file that you just saved, the master one, this one right here. You open it, and then you can see your photo here. You can see a little zoom thing. It's pretty sick, I think. Okay, you see this is your photo. You go to you go to HDR, then you go to tone mapping. There. Now you see how much better it looks now? It looks like an HDR photo. So you have to play around with these settings. There's a lot of settings and you have to just play around with them. There's luminosity settings to make it brighter. There's light smoothing. It makes a big difference. But you have to basically play around with this whole thing. Is color saturation. You have to play around with it. So then you go to apply. These are the settings I use as default for every photo that I do. It just defaults it, and then when I open the image I just press OK right away, because yeah. So now you close this, no, you save this file, and then you save it as a tone map in the same folder. You save it there. Okay, so now look at your two photos. It might not be much, but I tried. You go to Jacques 0, your original photo, and now look at the difference between these two photos. Look at the difference between these two photos right here. There. So there's the difference between the tone mapped one and this one. So you see the HDR difference. Everything's over exaggerated. Everything looks unreal. That's how you make an HDR photo. Is between these two photos is the thing that I showed. The photo I was editing with you guys, I edited that with you guys, so I didn't play around with the settings that much because I had to tell you what to do, obviously. This photo right here, it's different because I spent like half an hour picking the settings in that little dialog box. Like I said, the luminosity, the density, the contrast, because every photo is different. There's no two photos that you'll need the two settings for. So just play around with the photos and just, yeah, play around with the photos and then pick what you like. I like this kind of color, the stormy sky kind of, everything looks unreal. It looks pretty free and sick, I think. Alright guys, see ya.